Hello, everyone. Welcome to my We Talk. We Talk Football, and I'm absolutely fuming. Okay. Yes, Chelsea's final, what was regarded as final for the Premier League, Champions League qualification. The ball was in our court, and it was our time to strike. This game meant everything for the rest of the season and even going forward. This game was going to help not only Chelsea, the club, the fans, in terms of Champions League qualification, but also those up, the owners, as it would help them if they were serious to buy reasonable players because you have qualified for the Champions League. Subsequently, this was going to help them for front of shirt sponsor. Yes, we have Denmark, but it's only for the rest of the season. The game starts. Chelsea is playing like they have no midfield. The midfield collapsed from goal. We just could not control the game from the midfield. Newcastle started knowing the urgency, the importance, of this game with a lot of attack, a lot of pace. This was what they did. And that was why every time they had the ball, it was go, go, go. We just kept on trying to calm the game down. We just kept on trying to calm the game down. We were not marking our men. This is why it felt like they just kept on going at us with 1-2s. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So, this was what they just kept on doing. They were not marking their man, and that was why, if you notice, by the right-hand side of their attack in the first half, they kept on doing a lot of 1-2s because you are not. I say this in football: whenever that 1-2s works a lot, you are not man marking because you are just leaving that one player to keep drifting away. You're leaving your man to drift away. They kept on doing that. And the midfield just kept on. The midfield was non-existent. Lavia, Enzo. Caicedo, at least there was a bit of attempt from him. But the surprising part was how he didn't even get booked. Because he just kept on taking out Gordon. I'm like, I could see this. And before you know what's going on, in less than 3 minutes, ball's taken to the right-hand side once again from a 1-2, and the ball sent right in for an easy tap-in for Tonali. 1-0 in 2 minutes. And Chelsea is left chasing the game. And throughout that first half, we just kept on trying to calm the game down. You are not here to calm the game down. You are here to win. This is St. James's Park. You do not win there. It is a hostile environment. Why are you going there to just go and calm the game down? Jackson. Nicolas Jackson. The ball keeps there was one attack that we had. The ball was, I think it was Neto or Cole Palmer giving the ball to Jackson, and Jackson collects the ball, and instead of Jackson to send the ball right across through to his teammate who was kind of free, he decides to go in. Once again, Mr. Take the extra touch. He did that, and the one window he had to pass was blocked, so he had to go in. And of course, from the moment he started going in, I said nothing is going to happen from this because it's Jackson. Yes, he has some attributes that makes us feel, oh yeah, he's trying this, that, in terms of going forward. But at the end of the day, you are a striker. Your job is to strike. That is the one thing he does not do. It's just, okay. And now we get to the core of this game, the part that makes my blood boil. I see some people online getting angry at what he did. I am also angry at what he did, but I am angry at when, where, and how he did it, especially the where. Let me explain. The ball comes in, it's a long ball, and you could see that clearly from the back. We just kept on making long balls, and I'm like, fair play. At least you understand that the midfield has broken down, it's non-existent, so why not just get the ball across real quick? But the problem here is we don't do anything, we don't do jack from aerial balls. The attack does nothing from aerial balls. An aerial ball comes in inside Newcastle's half. The last man, a Newcastle defender, is about to receive the ball. And Nicolas Jackson, knowing very well he's not going to get to that ball, runs towards him, looks him in the face, and goes up with an elbow to the neck. Either the neck or the head. I think he hit him at the neck and also ended up getting him on the nose. From the moment I saw it in slow motion, I was like, Jackson is in trouble. Jackson is in trouble. Even before the referee, when the referee gave the yellow card, I looked at it and I was like, Jackson is in trouble. It's not going to end there. And as I finished saying it, what do I see? VAR. Now, this part is what pisses me off the most. Why are you going with an elbow to a defender, to an opponent who you have clearly seen in their half? Where's the pressure? I see players make these kind of mistakes or deliberate fouls, especially where it's a case of I'm the last man. If I don't do this, my team is going to take. So you hear that general expression, let me take one for the team. Because you know it's in a dangerous position. It's a dangerous area. If Nicolas Jackson was a defender, fair play. I understand. You took one for the team. This dude looked the defender in the face in a harmless position and decided to go buck wild. You, Nicolas Jackson, you sabotaged the team, the club, today. What an idiotic move. I can't believe you just... You know what this means, right? This means that, it's a straight red, by the way, that this means that this dude does not get to play for the rest of the season. This dude has practically cost us the Champions League. This dude with all the things I mentioned at the start of the video, that the importance of this game was, has single-handedly cost us. Going forward next season, this is what he has done. So, thank you, Nicolas Jackson. Thank you very much. I hope you get sold tonight at a very lousy fee. I hope you get sold for a pack of wafers, because that's your worth. I always say it. I'm like, yes, we're down 10 men. The bad part, honestly, the bad part of him being sent off is that we're down to 10 men, meaning there will be more space for Newcastle. That's the only bad part. But him not being there or being there, there's no difference. He's always absent. So even if we have 11 bodies in the field, there is an absentee regardless. He's always absent. He's useless. Second half begins, and Chelsea looks even better with 10 men. We start to play, we hold the ball a lot. We're not giving Newcastle a chance. Newcastle wasn't looking as aggressive as before. But why should they? Why should they? If I were the coach, Eddie Howe, fair play. If I were them, I'd do the same thing. Why burn energy trying to create chances when you know that undoubtedly that chance will come, because there will always be that space. They are down by a player. Why stress yourself? Why? So, they waited. They sat back. Yeah, hold the ball. You want the ball? Hold the ball. We'll wait for our moment. And it came. But fair play to the guys. At least they held their own. They looked like they had a little bit of things put together. But there were some moments where you'd expect better from some of the players. For example, Pedro Neto. There was this chance, I don't know if you guys saw that, this was towards the end. There was this chance where Pedro Neto had the chance to square the ball down. I think it was to Cucurella or Cole Palmer, because he was cutting in. It was like a semi-counter attack-ish. He was cutting in, and he had the chance to square the ball down quickly, because either Cucurella or Cole Palmer was free, relatively free. At least he stands a better chance direct at goal. But Pedro Neto has his eyes on the ball, on the ground, and he's not looking up to see his teammates, and passes back. And I'm like, what are you doing? Whose side are you on? Whose side are you on? You should be looking for your teammates. Anytime you run into a black and white shirt, you should be looking for a blue shirt. Anyway, another similar error from what's his name? Cucurella. I know a lot of you will be like, fair play, Cucurella, you tried, forcing a save from Nick Pope, the one that Nick Pope got a hand to it. I know some of you will applaud that, and to an extent I kind of do, but if you look closely, you will see that when Cucurella was about to hit the ball, or running towards the ball to hit it, you could see that Enzo Fernandez's man left him, and there were two men closing in on Cucurella, leaving Enzo free in the middle, in the 18-yard box. All he just had to do was fake the shot and give it to Enzo, and he's clean through. No man marking him. But of course, he takes the shot. Nick Pope saves. They had the ball, but they really didn't do much with the ball. The stats don't lie. Go and look at the stats, you'll see it. Shots on goal, shots on target. They were fair play to Reece James. He was the one that came close Unfortunately, what was it, Reece James? There was another shot, I think, that forced another save, just fingertips from Nick Pope. But from that moment, there was a bit of hope in me, like, oh my God, could we actually draw? Because I take a draw. But here's what would have happened. The only way that a draw was going to happen was if we got a draw with like practically the last minute to go. That's the only way, because as long as there is a healthy amount of minutes, say 4 minutes, even if we had scored, trust me, Newcastle would have switched it up and we'd concede one way or the other. That's the problem. So, as I was saying, the space, Newcastle's patience, finally paid off. There was finally space, and the shot was taken, and there was a deflection, and the ball drops right inside the net. Fair play to Sanchez. Sanchez, one mistake or two, very small, but he tried. And now we are in a position where we now have to hope and pray that an out of form Leicester City, who is already relegated by the way, will have to stop a Nottingham Forest, who has been relatively consistent all through the season, at home. That's a hard ask. The ball was in our court and we blew it. And now you're expecting a team that is relegated to save your skin. This is why you shouldn't have lost to Ipswich and Brentford. Your food was given to you, eat, and you played with it. Now you're hungry, there's no food to eat. This is why I said Champions League qualification is hard. Fair play to Bournemouth, fair play to other teams that helped. I didn't even see us coming close. The fact that we even beat Liverpool, that part surprised me. But hey, they've won the league. What are they playing for, really? And now, if Nottingham Forest wins their game, we get kicked out of top 5. I'm here talking. We're all saying, oh, if we qualify for the Champions League. If we qualify for the Champions League, does it look like we're qualifying for the Champions League? What if, God forbid, what if we don't even win the Conference League? My God, we will be the laughing stock of the season. Well, so what can we say? Thank you very much, Blueco. Thank you very much, Claire Lake. Thank you very much, Todd Bowley. You have assembled the Avengers. We should not have spent that kind of money and have a single recognized striker in the likes of Nicolas Jackson. This is a sin to football. This is a financial crime. How? I said it, and mark my words, it's going to happen. Blueco, your strategy, it will fail one way or the other. You are in the business of football. You always talk in your interviews about business. Money. The trend is your friend. Capital. Look to the future in the next 10 years, 25. Football is the business. If you do not pay attention to the business, which is football, you will lose. You will tank. You're not paying attention to football, and you say you are in the business of football. It will self-implode. That's the only thing that will happen. Regardless, whether we fans, even if I've said this before on this channel. I said, even if we qualify, what are we qualifying for? Is it this team we want to take to the Champions League? Huh? That's just a preview of what will be happening in the Champions League. Today's game, that was a preview. That's exactly how we will be bamboozled the entire competition. I get why Clear Lake wants it for the money, dollar. But we the fans, what for? I'm going to say something that might actually rattle the fans. In a way, it's good. Let's not make the Champions League. Yeah. Because that will affect their pockets. Let them know that this is serious. You cannot say you want to have a multi-club model in football and you pay zero attention to football and all you just think of is the money. Wake up! Other teams like Brighton that practices that kind of method, they practice it because they have no other option. It's their only chance of survival. You willingly walked into it. And you're not even doing a good job at it. You know what? As for my mental health, I'm just gonna end here. You know, I'm so pissed off. I'm just going to end it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this rant, leave a comment. Let me know what you feel. If I missed anything, please, your input, I will really appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your time. And I'm out.